All right, you guys, if you are using your Instagram for your social selling business, you should be. Every single person with a social selling business should absolutely be utilizing Instagram as one of their main platforms. You get a brand new audience as long as I recommend having a creator account so that you have a public facing profile. You can attract a whole new audience and you can build your personal brand in a really powerful way on Instagram. What I wanted to do inside this video is give you kind of a little bit of an overview and a checklist. So I'm going to kind of give you an overview of the different sections that you need to think about when setting up your Instagram account. And then I'm going to kind of talk through how to strategically set those up for your personal brand. So things like your profile photo, things like your grid, things like your description, because I know that these are elements that if you set up Instagram to use in a personal way years ago, it likely reads like a dating profile, right? Like, I love my dog. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I love long walks in the forest and like sipping wine by the fire. But at the end of the day, I want to help you pivot to start using it to build a personal brand for your social selling business. And that means making some really conscious and intentional tweaks to your account so that you can make sure that your account is not only set up to entertain your mom and your aunt and those friends that you haven't talked to in 20 years from high school, but so that you can also attract a brand new audience of your ideal customers and clients. So let's dig into this. You might want a pen and paper just to kind of write down a few little notes, and maybe you'll even be already giving yourself a couple of gold stars because you feel really good about different areas. So first things first, your profile photo. Now, I will tell you, if you are on multiple platforms, I recommend using the exact same photo across multiple platforms because that just kind of creates familiarity for the people that follow you in different places, especially if they don't know you really, really well. It's like a mental switch, right? They'll see it and they'll recognize you right away and they'll already feel comfortable and familiar with you. So, but your profile photo should be a photo of you. Okay, and I want it to be a photo where you look welcoming and warm, or maybe show a certain like goofy side of your personality if your brand is about that. Um, you don't want it to be a profile photo of your kids or your dogs, and typically not even you and your kids and your dogs. I just want to see you, unless your personal brand really is focused in on, your dogs, or you need a microphone for it or something like that. It really should be an up close picture of your beautiful face, smiling, looking warm, looking welcoming, and bringing people into your account. One thing that you can do, a little bit of like a pro tip, if you want to remove the background, because you do want your background to be plain, not overly busy, ideally more of a solid color than being like a busy, scenery shot. One thing you can do is if you have Canva Pro, you can put it into Canva, remove the background, and then use a color that is a part of your brand as your background color. If you want to see what I mean, you can check out my Instagram account. I am at the Lori Irvin over on Instagram, and I have done this with my profile photo. I removed the background and I put in a very pale pink that you will see show up all over the place in my brand and in my content. So the second piece is your handle. Your handle is like that word, the words or whatever that come after the @ sign in Instagram. If you can grab your name, do it, because you never know where your business is going to take you. You never know where your brand is going to take you, especially when you're in social selling. So, and I also want people to be able to search you really, really easily. So Lori Irvin wasn't available. That's why I added the in front of it. You could add a Ms., you could add exclusively, you could add always, you could add the one and only. But honestly, I highly recommend just using your personal name. A lot of us are like, okay, I sell Norwex, I remove toxins from the environment, so I'm going to be clean and toxin free. That's going to be my handle. But honestly, you just never know, again, where your business is going to take you, especially in the social media world. And if you can grab your name, this is always going to fit with whatever your personal brand is because it is you. And again, it also makes you easily searchable if somebody meets you in real life, or they hear you on a podcast or whatever, and they want to find you on Instagram. Because honestly, think about user behavior. When you meet someone brand new, and you want to continue to connect with them and stay in touch with them, what's the number one thing you do? You go and find them on social media. What's the number one way that you find them on social media? You plug in their name. And if they are encrypted and they are like trying to make it, for instance, a lot of teachers will use their first name and their middle name as opposed to their first and their last, so their students cannot find them. That also creates a barrier for your potential customers to find you as well. And we want to make it super duper simple. So the number one recommendation I have with your handle is that you use your name. Okay, next up, let's talk about your description. This is like that little tiny blurb that if you've tried to edit this, you know it can be extremely frustrating because you only get 150 characters and we always want to say more with it, right? So again, this goes back to we are not a personal dating site there. We are trying to appeal to strangers and our ideal audience and our potential customers. So you need to tell them in 150 characters or less what they are going to get from your account. Why should they want to follow you, right? So it's not necessarily about your likes and dislikes, it's about the value that they are going to get from your account. So going back to our like clean and toxic free example, you could say teaching busy moms how to remove toxins from their home by only cleaning with water. Bada boom, bada bang, someone can land on your account. They can ask themselves, am I a busy mom? Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit further and see if this account for me. Am I interested in removing toxins from the home? And you may even add a portion so that you can feel confident and comfortable with your babies and your dogs licking the floor. I don't know, you know what I mean? But like make sure that they know immediately by this description, what is it? Like, is this account for me? Yes or no? You have a total of probably 5 seconds when someone lands on your account for them to decide if they're going to hit that like really powerful follow button or if they're going to be like, you know what, just another personal account where they're talking to their aunts and their uncles and like those people from high school. Obviously not for me. Another thing that I haven't really mentioned right now, but I know I've said it in other trainings, is that you want to make sure that you have a public account. One of the number one barriers that you're going to see when you are trying to appeal to a new audience is if you have a private account and they have to request to join, 9 times out of 10, they're just not going to do that. That feels really vulnerable to request to follow a stranger's account, even if they feel like that stranger may be somebody they want to learn from, engage with, buy from. More times than not, they're just not going to bother. So do yourself a favor, set up a creator account, link that to your personal profile on Facebook, and you're off to the races. Okay. The next couple of things, and I'm going to talk about these ones really quickly because I don't want to keep you here all day, but I do want to mention them, is your highlights, your pin post, and your grid. Again, we are setting all of these things up for our ideal audience, and we have to think about from our Instagram account, like how are people utilizing our account? This is actually one of the main things. I have a whole course on Instagram, you guys. It takes you step by step on how to build out your Instagram account. It goes far more in depth, gives you a lot more examples, literally teaches you how to do all those things. I am just scratching the surface in this video, but I want to give you enough to see how you can use this for your social selling business, get you started. But then when you are ready to go all in on Instagram, all in on your social selling / network marketing business, you need to find yourself inside the Level Up Academy. So there's 2 ways you can access my Instagram course. Number 1, you can buy it on its own, and I will link it below this video. But then number 2, and I honestly think the better way, is that I have an academy for social sellers and network marketers called the Level Up Academy. And if you love this Instagram training, you're going to get training on every single element of your social selling business inside the academy. I will teach you how to build an email list. I will teach you how to build Instagram. I will teach you how to grow a team, how to maximize sales, how to build a personal brand, how to create incredible content that pulls all those people in and does tons of sales. Literally, the academy is your blueprint for building a social selling and network marketing business from A to Z. So 2 ways to grab that Instagram course, the Instagram course on its own, or It is one of the courses inside the Level Up Academy, which comes with 10 deep dive courses, plus live training, an amazing community, and a ton of other perks along the way. So getting back to it, let's talk about your highlights. I want you to think of your highlights almost like a magazine. It is information at your viewers' fingertips. So when they come to your account and they're getting to know you, or they've been on there for a while, but they want to learn something else, they're going to look at your pinned posts and what is it that you want them to dive into. So you might have some of your most popular products in there and information on those. You absolutely should have an about me on there so that they can get to know you a little bit more. And this is where you can be more personal, right? You can tell them about your kids and tell them about your busy life, but also tell them what led you on this business journey and what you're passionate about inside your personal brand. Okay, so that's your highlights. Some experts will tell you that you should only have, 4 or 5 highlights. I will tell you, have as many that make sense for you. Okay. I actually have some personal ones on there and some family vacations that I went on that just act like a memory bank for me. They are not necessarily strategic for my personal brand whatsoever, other than say that I am a very busy mom of 3. I love traveling, and those are some of my memories, and you can absolutely get to know me a little bit more. But from a business standpoint, they don't have a place necessarily on my Instagram, but I have decided that for me, I'm keeping them. And you get to make those decisions. I always tell my clients, you do you always. I will teach you the strategy. I will teach you the best way, but then it's your job to take what you love, leave the rest, and move forward inside of building your own personal business. So the next one that we chatted about is your pinned posts. So every single account gets 3 pinned posts. These are the graphics on your grid that are at the very top. And if you click on those 3 little dots at the top, you can see pinned post. You get 3 of these. So you also want to think about strategically, how do I want to use these 3? And these can kind of come into play. Like, what have I not highlighted in my highlights? Or, if you didn't do an about me above there, maybe you want to put it in here. Or maybe you want to have an about me in both, because at the end of the day, you are the personal brand, right? Maybe you have a lead magnet, so a freebie that helps you build your email list, helps you sell digital products, whatever. Maybe you highlight your freebie or your lead magnet in one of your pinned posts. So I want you to think strategically, what makes sense for my personal brand, what makes sense for the goals I have inside my business, and that's how I'm going to use these pinned posts. Remember, you can edit this stuff all the time. You can decide. Maybe every month you have like a monthly pinned post, whatever you want. Nothing is in stone here. And I always also tell my clients, done is better than perfect. So just start where you are. The only way to perfect what you're doing is to have something to perfect to begin with, right? So get into action, get doing it, and then figure it out the rest of the way. The last piece is your grid. And we've talked about this a number of times, but again, I want your grid to pull in your ideal audience. I want your grid to tell strangers when they land on your account what it is exactly your account is all about. And so that means it's likely not just photos, but I dive way deeper into this inside the academy, inside my Instagram, of course. So if you are like, if all the bells are ringing in your head right now and you're like, Lori, this is exactly what I want to focus on inside my social selling business. I love every ounce of this. Teach me more. Teach me every element of building a social selling business. I'm going to drop all of the relevant links below. I'm actually going to include a free social media planner for you, so that if you are just trying to get organized with your social media content, that should be helpful there. But ideally, all I'm really trying to do, and what I'm helping my clients do, is build a business that works inside of a very busy life. I teach my clients inside the Level Up Academy how to build a successful business that hits all of their goals inside of 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. So stop throwing spaghetti at the wall. Stop wondering what strategies are going to click for you, and learn the actual strategies to building out a successful, thriving social selling or network marketing business. So I will see you inside the next training.